Here's my recommendation for how you can stop failing at fitness. My answer might surprise you. It's something that I share with clients a lot, and that is, before you can address how to stop failing at fitness, right? We have to define what that failure is. And of course, succeeding, failing in some part is very subjective, right? Especially success, right? Depending on what you view that as. But let's take the negative side, the failure side. So we often look at fitness and many things as something you fail at if you don't get a certain physical result, if you don't look a certain way, if you don't perform a certain way, right? And yeah, in the day-to-day, that might be true, right? With a, if you're doing a fitness competition, you have a very specific goal. You might fail at that goal. But to fail at fitness, in my opinion, there's only one true way to do that. And that is to not practice fitness, right? To quit the practice altogether, or to never even begin. And the reason for this opinion of mine is it comes to something called an infinite game, right? So in the world of game theory, you have what are called infinite and finite games. And I'll explain a little bit more about that in a moment. It's very important for this answer. But let me just say again that with this definition, you can only fail at fitness if you don't even do it, right? If you don't do the things that fit people do, meaning you once did them, but then you quit, so now you're not doing them, or you've never even began. That's essentially the only way. So as long as you are consistently practicing what fit people do, i.e. exercising, right? What lifting weights, cardio. I mean, that's another subject, right? I have a very clear framework of what a true training program should look like. But regardless of that, if you are just doing fit things consistently, then you are in no way going to fail at fitness, right? Even if you don't get a specific result that you're wanting, a specific, metric that you're chasing, you might not have those goals, but don't say that you're a failure with fitness or that you are failing at fitness, right? Because if you are actually doing the things, you have not failed because of this infinite game idea I'm going to share in a second. So telling yourself that you're a failure at fitness is only going to be sabotaging your progress. It's only going to make you feel guilty and bad when you're actually above that mark. And it's unnecessary. It's a waste of your focus and a waste of your energy. So don't do that. If you are quitting, if you are at a point where a long time ago you used to exercise and take care of yourself and you don't do anything now, then yeah, in a sense you have currently failed at fitness, but you have your, as long as you are on this earth, you can make that decision to start again. And I would suggest today, because time is not promised. And if you don't want to be a failure at fitness, then all you really have to do to not be one is start right now with one thing, right? Do one exercise, and that's how the momentum starts. And then you're back in the group. The infinite versus finite game. I think this is fascinating, and I'm not going to go extremely detailed onto it other than just what's relevant to this question, right? Failing at fitness. But essentially, in the world of games, right? You hear that term a lot, obviously. There are many types of games. There are finite games. There are infinite games. A finite game is something that has clear rules, a clear start, a clear finish, a clear winner, a clear loser, right? Sports, baseball, golfing matches, chess matches, essentially any of those types of games, right? You know who's playing, you know what the rules are. You can say this person or this team won and the other lost, right? That's just how it works. And those are fantastic. The problem is fitness doesn't fall into that. Business doesn't fall into that. Marriage and relationships and raising children do not fall into that. Learning lifelong skills, right? These big meta skills that we need in our lives do not fall into those finite games. They are all infinite games. Fitness, business, marriage, raising kids, etc. are infinite games. Infinite games are ones where the goal is to keep playing and keep growing. That's it. There is no true winner. You do not win at them overall. I mean, you can feel like you're winning and doing a great job, but you can't say, hey, I won this thing, done, or I lost this thing, done, unless you don't play, unless you stop, unless you quit, right? Fitness. Actually, let's take the others for a minute just to paint this picture. In business, one does not win at business like I win, it's over. The richest people in the world, the best business people in the world, the top companies, the billionaires, the almost trillionaire people are still pushing boundaries and trying to grow and learn and build, because no matter how much they have, no matter how much they've done, they haven't won it. They are, winning, they are progressing, they are doing great things, but it's not a yes or no. Technically, right, the only way to lose at business or to fail at business is to run out of money and have to go out of business, right? That's like even if you're not by normal standards very successful, or regardless, as long as you have enough cash flow more than your expenses and you have money to keep the expenses paid and keep moving forward, you're in business, you haven't failed technically, right? With marriage, again, a bit of my opinion, but also really, I think this is a broadly known thing. You are failing at marriage if the marriage ends, or if the marriage is, I'm not going to get into all of it, but essentially if it ends. If the marriage continues and you're still trying and making an effort to keep playing the game and building and growing, etc., you are still in that. And now we get to fitness. Fitness is just as much an infinite game, right? You are in it for life. There is not a point where you say, okay, I have got fit enough, so I stop, because then you immediately start going backwards, right? So with fitness, if you want to not feel like a failure, if you want to feel like you're not, losing, all you have to be doing at the most basic level is practicing fitness, showing up, exercising, and that's really it. Improving your fitness, right? Having better levels of fitness, having a better, healthier, stronger, pain-free body, that is for, that's most of my education, right? That's what I teach. That's what I train. That's what I work on with clients. That's what I focus on for myself every single day. Those are the specifics. But I want you to make sure that you are not thinking of yourself as a failure in fitness if you are actually making an active effort to show up and do things, right, with your body. And if you're not, that's all right. But you can change that right now, right? You can watch this. You have, regardless of what's going on, it is ultimately your decision. If you feel like you are not practicing anything fitness related and you feel like you're a failure with it, you can pause this video when the video's over, right now, whatever. You can go in and you can do 10 squats. And now you are back in rhythm. You can go do a full workout. You can do a half a workout. You can do 2 workouts this week. You can just be in the practice. And that is the biggest difference. So this is something that I want everybody to understand that might have a little bit of guilt or a little bit of, oh, what if I fail, right? This is really the only main way. The rest is just about improving, optimizing, being efficient with your energy, your time, being safe. And that's what I teach. But I want you to focus first here if you have any of these thoughts. I hope this is helpful. In the description below, there will be a link to get free things from me that can continue teaching you, right? And some possibly other things down there, just depending on the time you can look. I hope this was helpful. Pass it to a friend if you'd like. Wish you the best. Keep practicing, showing up, and keep training your body.